Maranatha, and welcome back to part 67 of Come, Follow Me. Let's go meet Matthew. This is January the 22nd, 2025. My man's calendar. And I want to jump on back in here to Matthew 26, where I left off at. I want to recap verse 56 and go on from there. Well, let's back up to 55 instead and then go on from there. This is Matthew 26:55. In the same hour said Jesus to the multitudes, are you come out against a thief with swords and staves for to take me? Are you come out as thieves? Are you come out as against a thief, rather, with swords and staves for to take me? I sat daily with you teaching in the temple, and you laid no hold on me. But all this was done that the scriptures of the prophets might be fulfilled. Then all the disciples forsook him and fled. They all forsook him and fled for fear of their own lives. And they that had laid hold on Jesus led him away to Caiaphas, the high priest, where the scribes and the elders were assembled. But Peter followed him afar off to the high priest's palace and went in and sat with the servants to see the end. Now the chief priests and elders and all the council sought false witness against Jesus to put him to death, but found none. Yea, though many false witnesses came, yet found they none. At the last came two false witnesses, and said, this fellow said, I am able to destroy the temple of God and to build it in 3 days. And the high priest arose and said to him, answer you nothing? What is it which these witness against you? But Jesus held his peace. And the high priest answered and said to him, I adjure you by the living God, that you tell us whether you be the Christ, the Son of God. And Jesus says to him, you have said, nevertheless, I say to you, hereafter shall you see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of power and coming in the clouds of heaven. Then the high priest rent his clothes, saying, he has spoken blasphemy. What further need have we of witnesses? Behold, now you have heard his blasphemy. What think you? They answered and said, he is guilty of death. Then did they spit in his face and buffeted him, and others smote him with the palm of their hands, saying, Prophesy to us, you Christ. Who is he that smote you? Now Peter sat outside in the palace, and a damsel came to him, saying, You also were with Jesus of Galilee. But he denied before them all, saying, I know not what you say. And when he was gone out into the porch, another maid saw him, and said to them that were there, This fellow was also with Jesus of Nazareth. And again he denied with an oath, I do not know the man. And after a while came to him Then after a while came to him they that stood by, and said to Peter, Surely you also are one of them, for your speech betrays you. Then began he to curse and to swear, saying, I know not the man. And immediately the cock crew 3 times. 3 times he denied the Lord straight in a row. How many times will you deny him when they come to you to put you to death? I would rather be dead than here without him. To deny him would be to be without him. He will deny us before his angels. Why would we want to deny him? And Peter remembered the word of Jesus, which said to him, Before the cock crow, you shall deny me thrice. And he went out and wept bitterly. Chapter 27. When the morning was come, all the chief priests and elders of the people took counsel against Jesus to put him to death. And when they had bound him, they led him away and delivered him to Pontius Pilate, the governor. Then Judas, which had betrayed him, when he saw that he was condemned, repented himself, and brought again the 30 pieces of silver to the chief priests and elders, saying, I have sinned in that I have betrayed the innocent blood. And they said, What is that to us? See you to that. And he cast down the pieces of silver in the temple and departed and went and hanged himself. And the chief priests took the silver pieces and said, It is not lawful for us to put them in the treasury, because it is the price of blood. And they took counsel and bought with them the potter's field to bury strangers in. Wherefore that field was called the field of blood to this day. Then was fulfilled that which was spoken by Jeremiah the prophet, saying, And they took the 30 pieces of silver the price of him that was valued, whom they of the children of Israel did value, and gave them for the potter's field, as the Lord appointed me. And Jesus stood before the governor, and the governor asked him, saying, Are you king of the Jews? And Jesus said to him, You say. And when he was accused of the chief priests and elders, he answered nothing. Then said Pilate to him, Hear you not how many things they witness against you? And he answered him to never a word, insomuch that the governor marveled greatly. Now at the, now at that feast the governor was wont to release to the people a prisoner who they would, and they had then a notable prisoner called Barabbas. Therefore, when they were gathered together, Pilate said to them, Whom will you that I release to you, Barabbas or Jesus, which is called Christ? For he knew that for envy they had delivered him. When he was set down on the judgment seat, his wife sent to him, saying, Have you nothing to do with that just man? For I have suffered many things this day in a dream because of him. But the chief priests and the elders persuaded the multitude that they should ask Barabbas and destroy Jesus. The chief priest of the Roman Church. Yeah, hope you're following this. This is the one that seeks to kill the true Christians, the true apostles. But not even the greatest enemy of today, is it? The governor answered and said to them, Whither of the two will you that I release to you? They said, Barabbas. Pilate says to them, What shall I do then with Jesus, which is called Christ? They all say to him, Let him be crucified. When Pilate saw that he could prevail nothing, but that rather a tumult was made, he took water and washed his hands before the multitude, saying, I am innocent of the blood of this just person. See you to it. He then put it all on the priest. The governor put it all on the priest. So they were all in on it together. Just like they still are today. All in on it together. And y'all cannot see that all this has been for show. These riots back and forth, left against right, right against left. It's all been goofy silliness just to keep y'all's minds distracted. So you wouldn't be in the Word of God. You were too busy neck deep in the politics and everywhere else. If you had been reading your Word, you would have known the truth. See you in the next part.